Sports can be really cruel. I think it was a time tonight where both teams deserve to win. And you have to give A&M so much credit for the way they started. This crowd was unbelievable. They are a factor in ball games. They made it tough for our guys to hear. And then the wind was a huge factor again, very much like it was at Missouri, because the team that had the ball with the wind was scoring more. And then we jumped back up and took over the ball game, and then they came right back and got it, took it down against a great defensive performance by our guys and scored. And then with 1:42 left, Case takes us back down and Justin Tucker kicks the field goal. So really and truly, I'm so proud of our guys for the way it finished. But it was a great college football game, and I don't think you can really call either team a team that loses. We're the ones that had more points on the board, so it helps us as we walk out of here. It helps our team because we were in the same position last week against Kansas State. We didn't finish it. So we developed more at quarterback tonight. Case had a great drive at the end of the game to win it. Justin Tucker's been good in his entire career, so we didn't question if we could get him at the middle of the field that he would win the ball game. And the great run by Case, a couple of passes that he made, put us in great position. I thought Brian Harsin called a great game tonight, and we didn't finish 2 or 3 different drives. We're sitting there with a throwback screen to the tight end that's wide open. We miss a block on the linebacker and fumble the ball on a 3rd down and 8, which would have led to points right after we forced a turnover. He calls the reverse pass down on the goal line, and it's wide open, and Mike Davis falls. And then we get an interception. And then the one thing we couldn't do before the half to lose points was we could not get the sack, and we got the sack right before the half. And then we were so backed up in that 4th quarter. It was loud, it was windy, and our guys didn't handle it very well. We had a couple of penalties on 1st down, another penalty on 2nd and 5 that really killed us for a delay of game. But we protected the ball in the second half. Our defense forced a lot of turnovers, and tremendous play in our kicking game again by Quandary Diggs going down and getting points. This was a game where every phase would determine the game. But really, really proud of our kids, the way they fought, our coaches, the way they hung in there and didn't panic in a very tough environment. Very much like the Nebraska game last year, because we may not come back here, and a tremendous amount of pressure on our guys, and they hung in there and fought. But again, I'm a Mike Sherman fan, and I thought they did a great job coaching their team tonight. They played with a lot of emotion and energy, and it's really a shame either team lost.
Mac, Tucker said he felt some technique issues, I guess, popping up some punts. Did you think maybe he was tired
No.
when he was going?
I thought what he did, he was popping them up into that wind, and the wind was really tough, and they were blowing them back in his face. He started that way, and then the first 2 punts were pop-ups. And he's a very smart young man, sometimes too smart, so he analyzes too much. But then he drove the next 2 or 3 and did a great job with them. Then he went back in the 4th quarter and started popping them up again. So I think that he was proud of himself because he wasn't as proud of his punts tonight. He was proud that he was able to finish the game with a field goal.
So you didn't have a concern, when he was going up for that field goal, that maybe it was any kind of a...
If you've got one leg in that situation, that's what you dream the situation to be as a kid. We've had Chris Stockton. We've had Ryan Bailey. We've had that situation come up 5 or 6 times, and thank goodness we have not missed it.
Mac, your first game against A&M was Stockton field goal to win by 2. Can you just put in perspective
Well, I did. I thought this game, I was hoping this game would be the opposite of 99. We were ahead 16-7 at halftime, and they came back and won 20-16 in the second half. It really ended up being the epitome of 98. And that's what I hoped with 1:42 left. I saw the comeback with Major the other day, and I think there was 1:21 or something, and we had 2 timeouts in this situation. We only had 1 with Major, but it came down to a field goal again. Now this one was from the 20, and it was into the wind. Chris's was from about the 9, I think, and there wasn't any wind, but we had missed 2 field goals with Chris in the 3rd quarter of that ball game. So you never know what happens. You go back to LSU and Alabama and see the field goals that made a difference in that game. But I was proud of our snap and our hold, and you don't notice those snappers and holders till you get down to 3 seconds.
Mac, can you talk about the patience that you had with Case tonight? There were 5 punts in the 1st quarter.
Yes, I thought Brian Harson's got more patience than I did. He hung in there. He said we're going to be okay. They're stacking the line of scrimmage, and we're into a big win, and we've got to be smart, but we're not going to turn the ball over. We're not going to be foolish, and we're going to keep playing defense. And then when we get it turned, we'll start playing some offense on the other end, try to make a play. And I thought he handled it really well. I thought Brian did a masterful job tonight on a night where we didn't move the ball very well against a defensive team at A&M that played really well.
Talk about your special
Is
teams.
this game for confidence of your players, and is this a game where leaders get made and that sort of thing?
Yeah, I thought this was huge for our confidence, and we're trying to fight our way back. We got banged up offensively and didn't play well at Missouri. We played well enough on defense to win. Last week, we did everything to win and just didn't. I mean, it came down to a few plays, and Kansas State's really good. So I knew we were getting better, but the kids weren't getting any credit for that. I wanted them to keep their head up, and I could see it. We got one of the best defenses in the country. And then coming into the night, I knew this would be a fight. A&M's so talented on offense, and they're really good up front. They're leading the country in pass rush. And I thought our offensive line did a pretty good job. And they were going to take the run away and not let us run it at all and make us throw it. We just made enough plays to win offensively.
You talk about the special teams a little bit. You had Andre with a big return, and defensively, too, on special teams.
Yes, you go back and look at the history of this game. Dwayne put all the block kicks and all the block punts, all the punt returns and kickoff returns that have come in this game that have changed the game. You go back to 2 years ago, it was a 3-point game, and Marquise Goodwin returned the kickoff for the touchdown, and I thought we might do that with 1:42 left. And the way it ended up, we're better off we didn't, because there had been too much time left on the clock. But I thought that the special teams did a tremendous job tonight. Quandry's punt return, the field goal at the end, and a couple other field goals. We had to punt so many times, and we protected well, we covered well. They really didn't have many returns. The only thing I would say we didn't do as well as we need to was we didn't return kickoffs early in the game well enough, and it kept us backed up.
Mack offense has obviously had its struggles. Is there anything you said to Chris before that last series that you wanted him to know? You were thinking about anything you said?
Yeah, I told him that here's where you come out. Here's where you become the guy, and here's where you take us down and win the game. Every quarterback has to have a signature moment. This is going to be yours. I told him I thought it would be last week. You weren't ready for that, but now you are. So you're going to take it down and win the game. And he had such a smile on his face after the game. It's fun to see that.
He said that
We all have what you need. We have a few players broken out in the back.
neutral this week.
We did.
Is that right?
Yes.
And is that something obviously that pays off here?
Well, it does. We make a huge emphasis every week, but we felt like this would be a really, really tight ball game, and we didn't handle it well last week. So we just made a special emphasis for everybody.
Coach, what will you miss most about this rivalry, and do you have a favorite moment or game looking back over the 14 games?
I think I've got a favorite and a worst, and the favorite's the Ricky Williams run. The first one, because he won the Heisman that day, and I love R.C. Slocum. And well, you got Dat Wynn at linebacker, and you've got Tony Dorsett and Earl Campbell and John David Crow on the field. That's pretty cool. And that was a great football game too, like this one. It came down to the last kick. And then the worst memory is '99, just because of those kids. That's a memory that will haunt me some for Thanksgiving for the rest of my life, because those are families that don't get those kids back. And every time we get ready to play on Thanksgiving, and especially this game, and the bonfires mentioned, I'm sure it's very difficult for those families.
Last game, at least for a while.
I don't think it means anything to win the last game in this rivalry or for a while, because that will go away. What it meant for us is we needed to get a win. We were 6-2 and lost 2 tough games in a row. We didn't need to lose a third game in a row, so we're really excited to get this win. But I think the significant thing is we ended up winning number 7.
Can you talk about Shipley a little bit, his return? And what
Yeah, I thought he did an amazing job for he practiced this week for the first time since he got hurt. And he was out there and he got hit and he handled things. And the first catch that he made was an unbelievable catch to get us going early in the first quarter.
You said you thought Quandre might have taken that last kickoff back. When he didn't, how confident were you be able to fall forward down, especially staying struggling early on?
Well, I really was confident after you get that first down. It's amazing that if you get the first down and get it rolling, get some confidence so many times. And I really thought when they didn't make the 2-point play, we'd win the game on the field goal. I've had enough confidence. I thought because Case was comfortable, he'd handled things well throughout the night. He had not turned the ball over. He was throwing to the right guys. So we really felt like we had a chance to do that. But when they missed the 2-point play, I thought we're going to win this game.
Talking about turnovers, got in the key spots, obviously carrying the quarterback, Padres play. Talk about that.
Yeah, turnovers. We told the team before the game that defense has been playing great, but we're not forcing turnovers and we're not creating field position for the offense. And right now our offense is not developed enough to start at the 10-yard line and go 90 yards all the time. So we need some short fields. And boy, did they step up and do that tonight.
Obviously, good runs in bunches too, right?
Yes, they do come in bunches, and we had it at Kansas, I think. We had it at Iowa State. We had it against Texas Tech, and it was just time for us to do it again.